How's everybody doing today? We are running a how-to build, or how-to guide on how to play the Surge Psyker. So this is a Surge Staff Psyker that I played a lot. I've got some builds, I will link those around. Today we are playing a high-intensity hunting grounds, and we have some rather low-level teammates, especially this level 24 Thick Thunder Boy over here. So if you like the content, you like guides, whatever, you like the channel, like and subscribe. I'm going to be playing a lot of games here. You know, this is just my YouTube channel where I make videos on games that I'm currently playing. So I'd love to see you guys subscribe, hang around, hang out in the live streams, and whatever. Yeah, so throughout this game, I'm going to explain to you how I play. I've got build guides that I think I just mentioned, and I'll link those below. And you'll see how I play the Surge Staff Psyker. I'm going to be making these for a few other builds as well. So if you want to see how I play some other Psyker builds, or Veteran, or Zealot, all kinds, just watch those, you know, hang around, subscribe, whatever. Anyways, enough plugging, let's get into how we play. So, as a Surge Psyker, we don't do great at Horde clear, although we have brought Smite with us to take care of Hordes if we need them and give us some breathing room. As well as Smite is just a great ability to have, especially for lower level, newer players. Now, it is obviously great at all levels, but it is really easy to use as a lower level player. And that's because you can't blow yourself up with it. It's rather difficult to accidentally blow yourself up with it. So if you're smiting guys, you're building up peril and whatnot, you're also tasing them, so it gives you a lot of breathing room. But when you hit 100, you automatically leave the attack, and you won't just blow yourself up unless you actually smite at like 100% peril, which of course you'll blow yourself up then. But that's pretty hard to blow yourself up overall with the Surge Staff, or with the Smite. So overall great ability to take as a lower level player that wants some breathing room. It also really helps keep enemies off your teammates. If you're in a oh crap moment, you can just whip out Smite and probably save yourself. There's really a low skill ceiling ability, unlike a Sail, which is also easy to use, but also very easy to blow yourself up with. And you see the Surge Staff actually has a great stun ability, so we just stunned him using our Surge Staff that was running at our teammate, so we stunned him right before he grabbed our teammate. We have a large horde coming in from behind us. This is a great opportunity to show you how Smite works. So you just whip out the Smite, and depending on what talents you have, of course you can see exactly how my Smite works in the build tree, in my guides, wherever. And in those builds, I also go into the Psycanium in the in-depth build and show you how this build works on some of the enemies in the Psycanium. But the Surge Staff really excels at killing basically any enemies that are pinnable. So if you can ping an enemy, that's the kind of enemy you want to be focusing on as a Psyker. And if you get a horde of like bulwarks or crushers that come in, it's really good to kind of cycle between them. Now we're running high crit chance based on peril, so the more peril we have, the more crit chance we have. And our repeated charge attacks charge up faster. Now you see there's a lot of enemies and our teammates want to clear out a horde, maybe we smite them, especially since we might have plus 10% damage to people affected by smite. That just lets our teammates deal with it a little bit faster. You see we have this guy at range, this Reaper, and all you have to do is stun him a little bit, and it'll keep him locked out of firing his weapon. So the Surge Staff is great for keeping ranged enemies at bay, especially high-value ranged enemies. Now, these gunners are a little harder to deal with because they don't stun very long and they can shoot at you rather quickly, these smaller gunners. But as long as you're kind of varying through these hordes, and you see these hordes of gunners, you want to kind of bounce around inside them, who you're shooting at, and you'll notice that you kind of just stun them all for a very long time. And when you're in a fight with ranged enemies, when you see them about to shoot, he's not going to. You see those guys? There's a small flash right before they fire, and that's typically when you want to dodge, and that'll help you avoid taking fire. So you see, we're just stun locking this guy until he dies. Basically, it's quite easy to keep him in that stun lock. And enemy teammates that especially if you notice you have a Surge Staff Psyker on your team, tag who you want them to kill, because it makes it incredibly easy. We have a horde of dogs coming up here. And I think we just quick played in this mission. So this is just a general idea of what a mission might be like. So you have a large horde of enemies. Maybe your team's not ready to take on that. Oh, bombers are very important to take on. We'll stagger these guys with our Venting Shriek. Now we want to save our Venting Shriek for emergencies, times we think we really might need it. Ah, crap. That's not good. Oh, good. That was a good. Oh, great bomb by him. all we have to do is keep the hordes at bay, and I really like taking Smite because it also gives your teammates some breathing room. On this build in particular, we are running the Chainsword, but you could also run a few other melee weapons. Psyker has a great selection in melee weapons. I personally really like this Chainsword because it makes dealing with mutants, the guys that charge at you and grab you and pound you into the ground and throw you, really easily. So to deal with them, all you will do is you'll whip out the sword, you'll charge a heavy attack, you'll dodge out of the way of them, and you'll hit them with that charged Chainsword heavy attack, and that should pretty much kill any mutant on any difficulty. As long as you're not hitting them in the arm, especially if you're hitting them in the body, they should be absolutely dead. So here comes a horde. We'll see where they come from, maybe down the staircase. Here's some more. Oh, we also have, you hear the audio cue in the background there. We definitely have a, I don't remember what the name of this particular enemy type is, but we have an enemy coming. We almost got trapped there, that was close. So we have a large horde in front of us, our teammates have to deal with. Oh, they kind of all died. That boy shotgunned them out. But our teammate is getting overran over there, our ogre boy, who's actually seems to be quite good at the game for a... Okay, what did they just put on me? I don't know which ability he just put on me. I'm not sure if it really does anything either. Well, we're using it. But you want to notice I'm trying to stay near my teammates. If our teammates need support, that's what we do. We also don't do... we want to stay away from this guy on the edge of the map. So there's one of those mutants. We can stagger him out. Try and hit this guy with a charge attack. It's really hard to rip that on this guy because he's going to hit you. Our teammate threw a crack grenade on him that'll stagger him and release him. That's great. So we want him to focus on our teammate. We do have 6 warp charges up, which gives us a ton of damage bonus. And so we're just going to keep charging, chaining, max heavy attacks on him. Oh, venting shriek to not blow up. Oh, he grabbed us. Now you could whip out the Chainsword and hit him and try and dodge that. That would be good. Our veteran's doing a great job at supporting us as well. Fortunately, our Thick Thunder died. Maybe we could have gotten over there and rezzed him. So people that are really good to take out quickly with the Surge Staff would be Trappers and Bombers, as well as staggering Poxbursters. So you can just give a Poxburster a minimum charge light attack or secondary attack, and it will stagger them. Even if they're jumping on you, even if they're halfway through a jump on you, you can still just whip around and tase them really quickly. And that might change. That'll probably save you from taking a fully charged attack. So what you'll do is you'll hit them with a charged attack and dodge backwards, and that together it can possibly save you from even a Poxburster that's already jumping on you. So even if it's really last minute charged attack, you can absolutely save yourself. You notice if there's like a horde of shotgunners come out, I bounce between them to just try and keep them all staggered, and then you're also using the dodge functionality as well. Now, when you're dodging shotgunners, you don't get that flash. You actually get they make the racking sound of a shotgun. Oh, ouch, thank you. They make the racking sound of a shotgun like so. You just heard me dodge one actually right there. As soon as you hear that shotgun rack sound, I wait just a millisecond after that, and then you dodge any direction. And you will probably dodge that shotgun shot, which is very useful because those shotgunners can hit like a truck. Especially they come out in waves. Sometimes there's a ton of them and there's not a lot you can do about it. But yeah, that is what it is. Now, aiming the primary fire is kind of weird. It takes a second to cast, so sometimes it feels like you're not hitting what you're shooting at. It's kind of annoying. But that's just something you'll get used to over time. Now we have a large horde of guys right here, so we can tase them all. Keep all of them at bay. Now we see this Trapper through the horde, and we're going to focus on him above all else, because we do not need that Trapper messing up our day. There's a bunch of dogs here, we just smite them. You'll hear a melee sound come in, just dodge. You know, a lot of the times when you're playing Darktide, a lot of the skill problems, if you're really struggling at higher difficulties and playing the game, is just dodge, guys. If you dodge some more, you'll probably do a lot better. Dodging in this game will carry you through many, many difficulties and levels. It's just learning how to dodge and block better. As you can see, I'm not even worrying about these guys directly in front of me. I'm just shooting at these gunners in the back line, trying to take them out. Now, I think we're arcing onto a lot of guys close to us. You'll see how this horde in front of me has been running at me for quite a while and they haven't hit me. It's just because I'm well-timing dodge these melee attacks. You know, of course, I could have whipped out my smite there as well. Here's a Tox Burster. We'll smite him, or surge him. Pardon me. Now, you can either 2 or 3 shot these big boys, you know, depending on your if you hit a crit or not, depending on your peril level as well. So here's the guy I was talking about. You whip up a charge attack, he'll run by, you hit him. Now our teammates killed him, but if we hit him with a heavy there, he probably would have died by just our damage alone at the end of that shredder attack. Now you could also run, like, the dueling swords are fantastic as well. You could run those. Here's a crusher. We can activate this behind him. Oop, teammate got him, didn't matter. Using barrels are great for staggering enemies and just doing a little bit more damage when you hit. Surprised he looked through that third one. So we'll keep moving down. Now let's take a look at the damage. So we're doing a lot of damage as this kind of glass cannon build is what my video title on it. Here's a flamer. We're going to focus on him. We're literally just dodging away from the guys that are trying to melee us as they're attacking us, because we can do that. It's really not that hard. We'll stun him. All bombers take either 1 or 2 shots to kill. I'm pretty sure you can use almost any level charge on a pox burster, not bombers, pox burster, and they will pop on the second one pretty much all the time. We'll try and test that out if we see another one here in a minute, if I remember. Hopefully this this kind of guide helps you guys. You know, what's going on in my brain as I'm playing Psyker. Now, I'm definitely not like the best player in the world, but I've got a fair amount of time in this game. So we've got a large horde coming in. We've got a lot of these guys. So we'll tag them for our teammates. We'll build up a lot of peril. Looks like we don't need to use our Vengeance Shriek to stagger them again. In fact, we will instead whip out our Surge Staff and stagger them and blow them up. Now, the most satisfying part to me about playing the Surge Staff is when the enemies blow up. I think it's hilarious and funny. You see, we'll see a lot of enemies out here. One of the perks of the Surge Staff is you don't need to really worry about locking out and hitting you. So you can pop over the wall, fire, pop over the wall, back into cover. It's a great weapon for going... You see, we just... We'll put this down in case things go south. In these high-level missions, things can go south very quickly. You'll see these guys right here. I'm walking out of cover while charging up my attack, hitting them, and dodging back into cover. And as long as you've arced that smite onto them, that surge onto them, it will not disconnect through walls. So you can absolutely just do that kind of bouncing in and out of cover. Is a very effective way of using the Surge Staff. Now, this build is not fantastic against monstrosities, and especially demon hosts is what I wanted to say there. You see, against these shotgunners, again, we're just bouncing in and out of cover if the cover's available. And we're just smiting things. If you're smited onto enemy dies before you actually finish them, you can always just snap your view over to another enemy, and you'll probably snap onto them with your other with the remainder of your Surge Staff attack, and you'll get a good amount of damage out of that hit. And of course, if you ever overcharge yourself on this build, we're running Vengeance Shriek, so if you go into the animation of your, like, covering your face and you're about to blow up, you can just click F, you'll Vengeance Shriek, no problemo. You'll save yourself from blowing up. Now, of course, you don't want to rely on that, and you really want to use Venting Shriek as more of a tool rather than get out of jail free card. But in the event you have to use it that way, it is nice to have. I like to have it, especially because in high-intensity situations, you'll find, you know, I haven't blown myself up at all this game. But when you're in high-intensity situations, and maybe you get 1 or 2 teammates down, which is where it really matters most, not blowing yourself up, that's when you're probably going to blow yourself up, because you're getting very distracted by, you know, you're getting ran over by a horde, there's a lot of guys trying to run over you. That's when you're probably going to blow yourself up, which is when you need to blow yourself up the least. So that's just something to keep in mind. We've got so many enemies in front of us. I can hear a lot of guys behind us as well. So we're gonna smite, we're gonna Venting Shriek on them, apply a lot of Soul Blaze out of that horde, we're gonna turn around. And you can see just how many enemies we are smiting right now with our ability. So it's absolutely great value for just keeping enemies at bay and helping our team out. This is a great solo queue ability in my opinion. We've got our ability up again, we'll apply a bunch of Soul Blaze. He's gonna get stunned out any second, there he goes. It takes a little while for the stun to apply, but he dropped him because of our stun. And then we're back in this room with guns. So we're just in and out of cover. And smiting as we can. You know, we're going to focus on taking out the more problematic gunners. Like these Dread gunners are really annoying. Now our teammate's running Brain Burst. And Brain Burst is nice, but I find it's just too slow and hard to get value out of. There's other abilities that are much easier to get value out of, such as the Smite ability. Let us keep that entire horde at bay. Whereas a Brain Burst would help us very slowly kill a Crusher or another high-value target, but overall, Brain Burst is probably the Psyker's worst ability at this moment in time of Dark Tide, at least. So, we'll go ahead and plop this bad boy on here. Ooh, I want that. Where is that thing going? This is a health booster, great to have as a Psyker, because you are a squishy boy, and you can blow yourself up very easily as well. So if you've blown yourself up, you definitely want to take a health booster, especially if you're only running one wound. Once you get better at the Psyker, like I could probably do it, is stop carrying +1 wound on this build, especially since I have Venting Shriek. If you're running a build where you don't have Venting Shriek, you might want to stay away from the +1 wound until you're really good. But what we're doing is, yep, so we got this guy over here, we'll smite him, one-shot him, that's convenient. Now we got a lot of gunners over there shooting at us. I'll wait for this guy to get close to us. Now I could have just whipped out our melee weapon and kill him, which would have been probably the more efficient way of doing it. But we didn't do that, it's alright, it's not a big deal. Still got him pretty quickly. Now, nobody's doing the objective here, so we're going to try and protect him while the objective's being done. A lot of people stand behind this thing, it blocks some bullets a little bit better, so you're not getting stunned out while by gunners that are stuck across the building. So we'll smite him, and if you hit him with a low-level smite, it's kind of a low odds that they'll blow up. But if you hit him with a low-level smite while your teammate's pushing him, odds are they get double pushed and they're really far away. That's just a little bit safer for your teammates. Now, if you notice your teammates are actually shooting the Pox Burster, probably don't want to hit him with a full charge attack while your teammates are close, because you'll probably blow him up in your teammate's face. So there's definitely some getting used to in the timing in there. You notice I don't really use my melee weapon much. It's really just for the mutants. And that's because the Psyker, this build at least, struggles in melee. It's really easy to get hit in melee. And allowing your teammates to take on the melee for you is really helpful. So that's what the Smite is really great for doing, is just, you know, letting your teammates do the melee for you while you suppress them all, prevent your teammates from getting hit. Now we can of course go into melee. We've got a good melee weapon for doing that. We get a lot of damage. Ah, jeez. Ouch. So we get increased cleave on 3 hits, and we get increased damage on 3 hits. So if we hit a heavy attack that hits like 3 hits, we get like plus a ridiculous amount of cleave. So we'll do something that's kind of risky here, and we'll see how it is playing by ourselves as a Psyker out in the open. Anybody that's shooting at us, you want to tase them. Playing out here in the open as a Psyker is, of course, risky because you can get jumped on really quickly like that, for example, and die. I was low health, of course, though, so that doesn't help my case. Oops. Big boy just got whacked. But the Psyker is very easy to get caught out in the open by himself quickly, and you can take a lot of damage quickly, and you don't have a lot of sustain in close range melee. Now, especially if those were more dangerous than higher than low tier enemies. Oh, actually, we don't need to go down right now. We need to go get a. Oh, we might be using this boy right here. We don't want to die. That would not be good. But we got a large wave of shotgunners over here. Now, these extra large waves of shotgunners, I like to whip out Smite for. just because it's really easy to help out our teammates and will stun the whole board. Now you can try and dodge dance around to fight them, but I found it's quite difficult to effectively dodge dance at a whole horde of shotgunners. As soon as this elevator's here, we'll hop on in. Now, a lot of people might consider Smite a crutch, and I honestly would kind of agree. You know, it's very easy to make the game very easy using Smite, especially if you're really working on using Smite and doing a lot of damage that can make Darktide really easy than if you didn't have Smite at all. So maybe you want to run into something a little more fun and dynamic in the game than Smite when you're ready for it. But for the purposes of this build, I mean, this is like the lightning build. And don't let anybody make you feel bad for using Smite. It's in the game. It's a PvE game. You know, run whatever's fun. You know, there's there's a certain segment of the Darktide community that's, you know, lame. You know, guys, it's a PvE game with zero, like, there's no scoreboards, there's no late game progression in this game other than just grinding the game to build more builds, to grind the game to build more builds. Like, there's no late game progression. I honestly hope the devs add something in terms of late game progression, because they built, currently, in my opinion, half of a fantastic game, which is everything before the post game. Because everything before the post game, fantastic. Everything after that is the quote-unquote post-game, I mean, very sparing in content-wise. Oh, we accidentally blow ourselves up because we're not paying attention. We just venting shriek, we're just fine. So we've got another horde of dogs coming in, you know, wherever they come in from, we'll smite them. You'll notice our build here also applies Soul Blaze on kill of a doggo, or specialist enemy, or whatever it is. So all these guys have Soul Blaze on them now, and when it ticks, it should knock off dogs. So having this killing, so we'll whip this out, hit him, our teammates kill him anyways. So that chain sword, chain attack is really almost reserved entirely for the minions. I mean, you can use it on whoever it works on. But the most helpful teammate or enemy type is really the minions. You'll see, I killed the high value targets, and now we're focusing on this guy, just the range targets. Looks like we've got another horde spawning. That's fine. Let's take a look at the scoreboard again. So we're doing a lot of damage. You'll see our specialists and disablers killed is not really that high this game. That's mostly because our other teammate Lloyd looks like he's killing a lot of them. But in a game where you don't have somebody else that's also killing all of them, it will definitely fall in there to kill a lot of the specialists and disablers. You'll notice we have a lot of enemies in front of us in a horde, so you can pop that venting shriek and try and keep them back off of you. And you want to stick around the Ogre, and a lot of the times it's probably the best melee character to stick around. It's just tanky, can hold off a lot of enemies. Just got him killed. Otherwise, we're just spamming low-level attacks. So we stunned that. You see, I hit 100% peril, and I didn't really have time to quell, so we just whipped out our melee weapon and cleared out like 1 or 2 guys that were left. You could have also just venting shrieked and kept on going, but venting shriek will lose your warp charges, and your warp charges give us a huge damage bonus. So you don't really want to lose your warp charges unless you have to, or unless you want to apply a lot of Soul Blaze to enemies in front of you. But our warp charges also give us the ability to recharge our F really fast. Best level 24 I've ever played with in a level 5. And that's mostly because, oh, I didn't have that anymore. So when these monstrosities come out, typically on this build, I switch from, so I said we have like the high value target killing build. We got a large group of shotgunners over here. We'll ping them for our teammates to see, and we'll just stun them, because that's probably more effective than trying to zap them all and taking a lot of damage, because they can one-shot your toughness pretty easily. So when the coast is clear, we will just pump damage into the is our example killing mutant. We'll just pump damage into the monstrosity. But when you see there's a large group of shotgunners heading up behind this monstrosity, we want to focus on killing them and letting our teammates that might be better at dealing with the monstrosity deal with it. You know, there's a lot of specialist enemies, a lot of these shotgunners. There's a trapper in there that if any one of those enemies got a hit off on our teammates while in the middle of that fight, that could have been really bad for our whole fight. I could totally change the entire outcome of that little small battle. The Hounds generally don't even need a charged chainsword attack. How we do? So you see, compared to the rest of our team, we've pumped out a ton of damage. You know, our boss damage dealt is also leading the team, but our teammates are from behind. We've killed a lot of lesser enemies. Not less specialists and range specialists than I'd like to see, but our other teammates seems to be killing a lot of them. So that's probably why, is that our other teammates do a great job killing them as well. We have a little horde right here. We'll give them a smite. Why not? We'll go in, whack them around. You see, this sword's not the best at thinning out armored targets in one-shots, but if you just spam the light attacks or something, it's generally a pretty good sword, and of course it's really aimed towards taking care of the mutants very consistently. That was a flip. I don't know why it looked like that. This is pretty much leading up our entire tutorial on the Psyker guy. You can stun a dog, and I don't know why you can just. I would just arc him again, and that'll probably take care of a dog instead of trying to shoot him. Sometimes you can shoot the guys, but really, if you're shooting them, you always have time pretty much to just hit them with another zap. So shooting them at range is really just good for him. You'll notice how when he runs by, even though he's far away, the charged change sword attack is still stuck onto him. So you don't need to like worry about keeping up with him. You know, as long as you dodge out of the way, hit him. Now you cannot hit them with a charge attack and then dodge, because it will cancel you out of your charged chain sword attack. So you have to dodge, then hit them with the heavy attack. That did not used to be the case before some updates came out, but now you can dodge cancel out of those charge attacks. Hello. The sniper, of course, you can take him out immediately. I just see, well, that guy just exploded. I think it's hilarious when guys explode like that. It's just the satisfying part of this build.
Threats neutralized. Away from that monster.
First, we're gonna come out of this door right here. Just zap him. Let's stun the trapper before you turn bad. Easy, quick stun. Do it. We got a lot of shotgunners out here on our teammates, kind of overwhelming them. A lot of them, actually, in fact. So after this is up, we will purge, switch back out to our surge staff, try and finish off all the guys that our teammates might have taken out. This is part of taking on those specialist high-value targets, ignoring the ads that are in front of you. And then, you know, you can ignore them until the coast is clear, and then take them out. Hopefully your teammates will take them out. Hopefully you have like a horde clearing type teammate that's trying to focus on that. There's a large little horde in front of us. You know, get your bonus attacks charged up. Oh, so we know there's a bomber over here somewhere. He's running right up to us, which makes it convenient. But, you know, he might have been really far away, and you want to find him and prioritize him over everything else. Because bombers by themselves are not the worst. You know, they are still problematic, and the fire does a lot of damage. And I can just barely hear the audio cue, I think, of another bomber somewhere. Oh, no, it was the sniper audio cue, not a bomber. We got some shotgunners in here. Oh, we got tackled, and the venting shriek did not stagger him, unfortunately. We got a lot of shotgunners right here. This would be a good time to smite as well. We're just going to keep up with the surge staff because we can really pick and choose. And we have our whole team right here. They're looking in the right direction. I don't think we need to procrastinate any time. Of course, continue focusing on those specialist enemy types.
You leave me no choice.
Clicking F will apply that Soul Blaze in front of you. This dog down in there that we're focusing on trying to get. Now your secondary arced attacks do not do as much damage as your primary attacks. So, you know, your attack will stun on some other enemies and apply stun, but it does not actually do nearly as much damage as the main primary guy that you have to smite it on, or surge onto. So here's our boy, he's coming up. It usually takes me 2 fully charged smite attacks to, or surge staff attack. Take me 2 fully charged surge attacks to stun a. I'm not sure if it'll work with lower level ones. Let's try. Yeah, okay, so 2 lower level ones it looks like works as well. You get 2 of those off on a move and you're pretty much done. We've got a bunch of shotgunners over here again. Now you can't really bounce in between them when they're all balled up like that. You just have to kind of cannon into them as much as you can and dodge dance. We have a sniper over here. We'll try and get him with a long range attack. Not too difficult. The snipers are staying pretty still. There's a bomber somewhere as well. There's 2 or 3 bombers. That's when they become problematic. Our teammates got him with a brain burst. Well, that's why he's got so many specialist builds. He's brain bursting on them. So that's great that he's brain bursting them, and if you're running brain burst, you definitely need to be focusing on doing that. Now you see, when I'm smiting these guys, you're very slow moving, but I'm actually just dodging through the entire board, left and right, working my way through, using dodge as a movement technique. Because you know, when you're smiting, like so, now this is as fast as you can move, but oh, look at this! I'm actually moving very fast now, almost normal walking speed by just dodging away. Very easy to do. He's not even as interested. But yeah, guys, I hope this guide helped you see how I play the Psyker. You know, when in doubt, dodge. Take out the specialists. That's how I play the Surge Psyker. You know, there's other builds, lots of other ways to play the Psyker. Psyker is one of the most unique builds, characters, you know, tons of different ways to play. And yeah, that's how we play the Surge Psyker. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, leave your comments, thoughts below, blah, 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 blah. I'll see you guys in the next one.